Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special bonus episode of Cities Skylines. And this is Kuros Paladin, and we're going to showcase some of the other cities that I've worked on in the past. And this city is what I called Landlock, because the city was, well, landlocked. And it's up to almost 350,000, I think, citizens. You can see over to the left there, more or less straight ahead, that is the district that I called the Royal Overlook, which has a bunch of the Chicago landmarks in it. They really do look good all together like that. And also I named a fictional character in the game that I created. I create stories for each of these neighborhoods and everything. And the Royal Overlook, which is, we're passing, if you look out the left side of the bus at the moment, which is the 5 towers built by Margaret Janney. It was just a name I came up with, Margaret, because a very, very, very dear friend had passed. So, anyhow, sorry about that. This is what I call I believe this was the Twilight Expressway. I just have an entire history and story to a lot of these neighborhoods, and I just thought it would be interesting to show off some of the cities that I've got. And also, you've probably seen screenshots of these cities in my title cards and might be wondering what they are. You can see over there to the right the Luxor Hotel Casino. That's in the entertainment district of Egizia. We're passing over the north branch of the Night River here and coming up onto that exit and entrance. Anyhow, we're just following this Planet Express truck. I believe it's going to exit here. Nope. Okay, I thought it was going to go to the giant industrial complex you can see over to the right. I guess it isn't going to do that, and I was wrong. I think this is the Twilight Expressway that I'm crossing over right now, so I believe that means this is I-46. Here we go. We're making the turn, and we're going to go onto I-46, so I don't even remember where this truck is headed to. Whoa! Okay, just making a U-turn, so it is going to that industrial complex. Just doing it the long way, I guess. Might be because the way it had to get in there. It had to do it. Yeah, I don't have well, I do have an exit right there. I don't know why it passed it. But anyhow, so we can see the city has 302,000 people in it. I don't know why I was thinking almost 350. That might have been the save that I lost. I think I actually had up to 500,000 at one point in this city. But I lost that save. I'm really annoyed because I had filled out a lot of this city, and it was just amazing. So let's go ahead and we're just going to start. I want to keep this really kind of short. Those of you that don't know, if you have been watching, you would know. But if you haven't and you don't know, look at all these wonderful names of these neighborhoods, and you'll see a lot of them will be from City of Heroes. Kings Row, Patriot Wharf, Samora, Talos Island, Williams Square, Skyway, Boomtown, Copper, Dark Astoria, Founders Falls, etc., etc., etc. Hamadan Square, which wasn't really a neighborhood, but Hamadan, you didn't want to mess with Hamadan. So yeah, the main city, in fact, the very, very, very center of the city, the precise center of the entire map is Cologne Cathedral right here, in Cathedral Circle. And you've seen I do that. That's something I really enjoy. I've been going a little overboard with Knight's Helm on the roundabouts, but you know, just seeing how well roundabouts will really work in a city. I have a similar road layout here that I had with a Knight's Helm. How can I get a better view of the streets and such? There we go. So you can see I have major roads that go straight through, and then I have side neighborhoods that just have entrances to them so that I keep the traffic in them to a minimum. I don't have huge blocks of commercial because that just causes more issues for traffic. I think this is the largest commercial block I've got in the entire city here. Forgive me, I hope I didn't say what I think I just said. But Blackstone Hills is probably the largest commercial area I have in the entire city. So let's go ahead and get into some of the actual little neighborhoods itself. So this is where the city started, right here around Cologne Cathedral. And well, there's really not a lot to show off here. It's just where the city started, and you can see over time I rezoned to high density. I did bump out some stuff to put in these other landmarks, the Empire State Building, One Detroit Center. Toronto City Hall seems to have disappeared because my guess is that asset was updated at one point, or I'm sorry, replaced with a new version as opposed to updating. So the old version I unsubscribed from and I subscribed to the new version, which of course isn't in this city because it's not the new version. But it was in this circle. As you can see, the name of the city, the name of the circle was City Halls, or City Hall Circle, and it was in there. But I'm not going to go ahead and do that because this isn't going to be a save. So I started here, and then I did extend. I went up, and you can see I created this Mack Avenue. Or I'm sorry, not Mack Avenue. That's another city. That's Knights River, I think. Woodward Avenue and Michigan Avenue intersect at the very center of the entire city where Cologne Cathedral sits. I am from the Detroit area, so you may recognize some of the other names in the city. So Michigan Avenue does continue across the river and goes around the lake all the way out into Eden, and over this way all the way out to Avetta Towers. Woodward Avenue goes right to the end of the map through Utopia, and all the way down here through Arcadia. And then there are rail lines that circle around the outer side of the city, or the outer edge. Like I said, a lot of this was filled in. We actually have this massive tunnel that goes underneath that mountain there into Utopia, and then comes around over here through New Conagot, or whatever, and into Eden. I really did kind of stick with the plain old grid for most of the city, as you can see. But then I got out of the grid. Once I started going off to the edge, I started to follow the river a little bit. I think at some point, I actually think I crossed the river first and came over here to this side, where I've got Campus Martius, Diagon Alley, I know, but anyhow, I just thought it was funny because, well, it's all diagonal, so. The Riverwalk with, of course, hey look, what a surprise, Cologne Cathedral, which owned all of the land around it at one point, but has, over time, allowed the city to lease space from it. So that's why I have all these parks around it. Again, I have these little stories I've come up with for each of the neighborhoods. Let's see, coming over to Egizia, that's one of my tourist areas. You can see this Luxor Resort Hotel Casino, a wonderful asset created by somebody. It is comprised of, I think, 4 separate buildings. You've got the obelisk, the Sphinx. Once this autosave goes by, come on, autosave, there we go. Actually, I'm going to get rid of the rain. I don't mind it usually, but I'm just going to get rid of the weather. There we go. Okay. The Sphinx, the actual pyramid hotel itself, and then the 2 tower as well. And that is the centerpiece of Egizia. And that entire, but that's not the district button, there we go. Right there, that is the entire district of Egizia. It is an entire tourist area, and it is ringed with trams. There we go, there's trams that go through it. It has its own subway stops, and it is very popular right where it's at. This idea where Woodward Avenue intersects with what was it, Groesbeck, or Gratiot, there we go. I think Groesbeck comes in here somewhere too, I don't remember for sure. So that is where we have the Pantheon. And really quick, I thought I turned day-night cycle to pause, but apparently I'm still getting day-night movement. So I just wanted this around 2 o'clock or so, just because I think that's about the best lighting. Okay. We have the Pantheon right here in the middle of this, and it just went right back to whatever time it was. So that was really useless. Come on, game. What's going on? Do I have to do it when it's unpaused? Maybe that's what it is. My Sims are gonna freak out because of all the time. And why did I pause it again? Gosh, I don't know what's wrong. Oh, it's pausing on its own when I do this. Okay. So I guess I'm just gonna have to live with the day-night cycle. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, you know what it might have been? Right-click use. And there we go. I think that will take care of it. Okay. Anyhow, in the middle here of the hub is the Pantheon with the White House. And also we have the Oppression Office, the official park. And I did have at one point an earthquake in the city. And I decided this would be a really neat place to put that monument. The earthquake actually did destroy this tunnel right here. That goes under Michigan Avenue. And it was a right pain in the butt when it happened. So, Mac Boulevard. There's Mac Boulevard. I knew it was around here somewhere. It's one of my main streets that I intend to eventually kind of peter out over here. And the hub just came about because I thought, okay, let's stop with the grid. Let's get a little bit more like a European city that kind of grows out from the middle a little bit. And believe it or not, none of this out here existed except for Michigan Avenue, except for KIX, which is Kuros International Airport. This was out here, so actually the hub actually built around, so it's kind of backwards of what you would expect. This looks like it's been here for much longer, but actually the airport was there first. And then KIX itself is extremely busy. Extremely busy. Look at how busy this station is once I stop zipping around here. Look how busy that is. All those people in there. There's monorail, rail, and then there's a metro station underneath it all. And it is so busy that I actually had to prevent pedestrians from crossing the road because it was just blocking traffic. So you can see they can actually go up and over. That clips, you can see right there, it clips under the monorail. Oh well. But this is just look at how busy that is. Just constant people coming in and out. They're also coming in through this space elevator. Look at that, 1,089 tourists in the last 10 minutes that have come into the city. Just alone there. The airport itself, air traffic, not a lot of traffic on it. Most of it just seems to be people coming in by bus. Because you can see I kind of separated my buses from the actual passenger traffic. There is a plane right there with 80 passengers leaving the city. But I separated the buses from the private vehicles. I also used Touch It. That is a mod that you can install. That's this little pink arrow down here. Or Touch This, I'm sorry. What that allows you to do is it allows you to change the roads that are attached to assets in most cases and change them, because normally the international airport you see here has a two-way road in front of it, and that just bugs me to no end. So I actually replace it with a one-way road, because let's be honest, how many international airports in world-class cities, I'm not saying this is a world-class city, but how many of them have a two-way road in front of them? They don't. You come in and you go by and you leave. You don't go both directions. So yeah, KIX came up much later. Over here, I love this asset. I am not a World of Warcraft player, but I love that asset. Asset? Oh my goodness. Asset. The Cathedral of Light. Look at that. That's just beautiful. I thought it would look nice to kind of complement this Cathedral of Plentitude, which I'm not that thrilled with, but I thought at least it looks a little bit better with this nearby. And then, of course, I had to have Neuschwanstein here. That isn't the Lord Chirpwick castle. That is the Neuschwanstein, which I think was another asset that somebody loaded. Unfortunately I don't know the name of the person that did that. I did do a little bit in this city after Park Life came out, so that's where this fortress came from. But most of my parks, as you can see, I do actually have a park here. I call it the Gath Green Space Park. Doesn't have a lot in it because I never really got far. But you can sit here in your, go bouncy on the trampolines, or go to the cafe and right at the end of the runway here and watch those planes take off. I'm honestly, I'm not drunk or anything. I just say the wrong words. So I also have a tiny little leisure district in here. The landing strip, which I thought, heck, you know, it would not care that it's next to the runway with all the noise. So the landing strip is just a whole bunch of your 24-hour gyms and arcades and nightclubs and comedy clubs and what have you. It just goes 24/7. So, getting back over here to the Royal Overlook, there's nothing really specific about it other than I just wanted to group these 5 towers together. We've got the John Hancock building, the Aeon building, formerly the Standard Oil. John Hancock, I already said that. The Sears Tower, now the Willis Tower. Is this Michigan? 311 South Wacker. This is, I think, the Michigan. Yeah, 900 North Michigan. Just, they look really good grouped together like that. And that's just Royal Overlook. Nothing really special about that. I have the Eiffel Tower hidden in over here, along with the Pyramid of Safety, which I thought, hey, you know, it kind of looks like the pyramid at the Louvre, so heck, let's stick it near the Eiffel Tower. I have another asset over here that's a unique, or not unique, but another asset. That's the Dvorak Tower. And now, nope, it doesn't. And I just realized something. I have the real-time mod running. That is why the sun was actually moving. Okay, real-time is a mod that does things differently, and that's why the sun was actually moving. So what else do I have in the city that's kind of unique and different? I have over here, I have kind of another tourist area, where I have, as you've seen in Knight's Helm, the CN Tower. It's another asset that I put everywhere. Probably in Knight's Helm in the future you're going to see the Pharos of Alexandria show up as well, because it's just another one of my favorites. We have a cruise terminal here, which is way too high up. The water level in the city actually dropped, and I don't know what happened, but the water used to be much higher, and it's dropped. It's just the way the fluids work in the city, I think, or in the game. We also got the Palms Casino over here, which Ulmminster was not very happy about. They were actually very kind of annoyed by that, but Ulmminster still wins in height. So that was another thing, aside from the CN Tower, nothing's going to exceed the height of Ulmminster in that neighborhood. Over here I have the Ford World Headquarters, an asset created by somebody that is a good asset. This part of the building is fairly accurate to the real deal. I actually used to work next door to this building, for a Ford Motor Company. The colloquial name for it is the Glass House, but I don't know where this came from. The tunnel came from, this back part. I don't know where they came from, but it still makes it look good. So if you're ever in the southeast Michigan area and you're going up or down Southfield Freeway, you just might see this off to the side. And I thought that would look really nice there. And it has its own little monorail stop. Actually, it has two. It has the Glass House South as well as Glass House North. Over here, Terra Volta, straight out of City of Heroes, and so named because it has the fusion plant that powers all the city. And a lot of rail traffic coming in and out of there. Back over this way, we have Campus Martius, which is so named because at one time there used to be military contractors grouped into this area. They have since left, but the name has survived. And you can see I have another one of these stations here. One of my favorite stations. Look at that, 923 passengers in the last 10 minutes. Well, now 459. But that is, I just like that asset because you get the monorail in there and the train and the metro station. We also have right in the middle of Campus Martius, we have Westminster Abbey. Another asset somebody did. The textures could use a little bit of love. And maybe some more tries on it. The level of detail, the detail a little bit to be desired, but if you back out a little bit, you can forgive it. You know I like my churches, so yeah, they also have St. Patrick's over here in Perez Park. This was all built prior to Park Life. In fact, I don't think I even have any Park Life assets in Perez Park, and it actually spans, you can see, right from all the way here to the courthouse, all the way down to here to the temple. All of that was built prior to Park Life. I just wanted a large open park, and that's where I got, or what I got for doing it. You can see I got a lot of the vanilla game parks in there. So is there another interesting area of the city that to point out? Not really. Triomphe Square, because we have the Arc de Triomphe right hidden right there. Again, another roundabout. And I got really ambitious here with these roads coming in like that, coming in so close like that. But it seems to be working out pretty well. And then the outlying towns were really intended to just be that. They're just little towns that have a little bit of industry right near the railroad station, a little bit of commercial. I don't even think there's any office really in any. Oh, there's two office buildings, because I didn't want a lot of vertical growth in these outlying areas in these suburbs. And of course, yeah, look at that, another church. Yep, of course. And we got something. What is that? Wait, now I'm curious. What is? Hey, look, we got flying cars. Holy cow, where did the flying car come from? That is, oh goodness. Okay, somebody has a flying car. Alright, so it's confused. Its home is building, its occupation is building, and its status is building. Okay, so flying cars you saw them here first in Knights River. Okay. Anyhow, as I was saying, of course, I've got to have a church, and there's a Holstbro Church. I don't know exactly how that's pronounced. And then, oh look, Gath Green Space Park has reached level 3. We're not doing that though. And right at the northern end, I think, yeah, northern end of Michigan Avenue is Pike Tower. If I had continued Michigan Avenue on its actual true line, it would have started going up this mountain, and it just wouldn't have looked right. We also have Observatory Trail, and so named because at the end of all of this is the observatory, and it's looking this way over the void of whatever. Yeah, okay. And then there is another wonderful little thing over here that I threw in, my little Knights River sign. So that's supposed to be something people coming in on this freeway right here can see. Oh yeah, I forgot all about Peregrine Island. which does not have a railroad station. Oh yeah, actually it does. I take it back. It does have a railroad station, and quite a few people seem to use it. Look at that. But that might be because I allow inner-city trains on that. So, yeah, Peregrine Island. Let's see. Let's go back this way. What else do we have? This all ended up being developed at one point, but it's all gone. So, transit in the city. I've got monorails and metros. And then I've got trains going around the outer edge. I've got a train station, I thought, in the middle of it all. Do I have a train station? I don't have a big train station in the middle of it all. It's been about 6 months since I last loaded this city, so I don't remember everything. I do have something I tried, but it's not working out very well. I thought, what if I just put the cargo train station right off the freeway? And that probably would have been a great idea, except I put it too close to this entrance ramp. But otherwise, it probably would have worked a little bit better. This is one of my first attempts at that diverging diamond. This one I made myself. Probably could have been done a lot better. But yeah, I have this. I have monorail that comes. Was going to follow, and I think it always was going to terminate right here. I don't think it was going to go all the way out to Eden. But yeah, we have the monorails that go through here. I don't know where any of them are at, but it crosses that way, and then I do have a monorail that goes up Woodward Avenue. Somewhere it starts. Here we go. It starts way down here, and we can actually go ahead and watch that as it follows all the way up at a reduced frame rate because I don't have a potato. It's just there's so much detail for it to render here. It just goes up all the way through the city. I think it would actually take, if I were to follow this, it will take about 5 minutes to go to the other end of the city. And it goes all the way over through the Royal Overlook, through the airport. Everything converges at the airport, by the way. And then continues on to that Eiffel Tower, if you remember where that was at. Coming up on Cologne Cathedral, there's Elizabeth Tower. And we're at the station of Cathedral Heights. But anyhow, we're not going to follow that for too long. But it just goes, it follows here, goes through the middle of the Twilight Expressway. You can see right there, Twilight Expressway. Follows it. There's a bit of a roller coaster drop here that I never did get around to fixing. They come in to KIX South because there is KIX itself. It merges with the University line. I call this the, what do I call that line? I can't remember what I called that line. When I clicked on the, it would tell me when I click on one of these. The Woodward line. Well, that makes sense. The University line, it merges as it goes over Gath Green Space. They share downside station, and then they diverge again. The University line goes this way, and the Woodward line goes through Royal Overlook, makes a 90-degree turn, and comes back up to Woodward Avenue. And it probably would end there. Maybe one more station, I don't know. And then the University line continues out this way. The University line goes this direction, following the Twilight Expressway. This I was really proud of. I did this before the parallel road mod, so this took a lot of effort to get that right down the middle. So named because here is the Paladin University. And Paladin University is the main university of the city, of course. There's the University Station. And then we have the U-bend, where it just kind of does this as it goes into Campus Martius. And then Campus Martius, Woodvale, Automation Alley, Ford Estates, and Riverwalk are served by two monorail lines. One of them is the University line, which just comes straight in and then ends here at the Ford World Headquarters, right to there. And then there's another one that just loops around. That's called the Riverwalk Loop, and it hits Campus Martius, Broadsword, Perez Park, Terra Volta, Glasshouse North, Ford Estates, and of course the cruise terminal. So that is the mass transit, mostly of the city. The metro, mostly a grid, or was it? I guess it wasn't. So if you look, you can see I have a lot of underground railroad. Oh, I have a train station I forgot about right there. So yeah, I do cheat with some railroads. I do go underground a bit because I didn't want the real estate of taking away the real estate for the rail. That's one thing that would be nice in these games, these starting maps, is if rail was already there. Because most towns and cities start around railroad, and if you just build without them, you're not going to bring it into the downtown area. So that's why I end up tunneling my railroads all the time, because why would I blow away prime real estate to put down track when I could just tunnel underneath it? So it would be nice to have some maps that start with track in them. But anyhow, I do have, as you can see, some metro. They all kind of converge. In fact, I had this idea that the hub literally would be a hub of metro stations. And believe it or not, I'm thinking of doing this in Knight's Helm, having a hub like this, because I did find an asset that I want to use, which is this massive Falcon Metro train hub. Well, when I say massive, just it's huge. Look at that. It has 8 distinct subway lines and 5, if I remember. I don't remember how many, but 5 or 4 rail lines. And I plan to put that into a roundabout in Knight's Helm. So stay tuned to the Knight's Helm series. But going back to the metro that I've got, you can see a lot of it converges on the hub. I follow Woodward Avenue. I follow Michigan Avenue. Well, actually, I sort of follow Michigan Avenue. At the time, I didn't have them, but you've seen me use them in Knight's Helm. The stations that I probably would have put here, where I could put 2 of them. But anyhow. So that is the City of Landlock, a nickel tour of the city. If there is anything else that you would like to see about the city, just go ahead and say, hey, we'd like to see a little bit more of it. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. I have the name. I never did name it. That's all my whatchamacallit, sewage, which we have a little bit of overflow. Ooh, and it's going onto Big Beaver southbound. Yuck. Ew, ew, nobody wants to be doing that. Ew, get away from that. But anyhow, if there's something you'd like to see more about this city, please leave a comment below. Let me know if you'd like to see more about it. I'm going to do a showcase on a couple of my other cities, and I hope you enjoy them, because I love this game. I love the way it works, and I really do hope that you, as a viewer, enjoy watching and seeing what can be done in these cities. There's just so much you can do in them, and so much amazing assets, so many amazing assets that you can just put into each of them to characterize each of the little towns and such. So that's what I'm going to end here. So thank you for watching the episode. I appreciate the folks that have subscribed. If you do like what you see, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. You'll get notified if I upload some new videos, and let me know in the comments if you like what you're seeing. So once again, thanks for watching. Take care, and bye.